Very good evening, everyone. How are you doing? Veera sir, can you give me the control? So yeah, welcome everyone. We'll get started in few minutes. Just give me a minute. We'll get started. Okay. Any questions? What we have done so far? No? Yes? Maybe? Today is 24th August. Okay. What did we do yesterday? Any idea? So yesterday we started discussing about, you know, strings, isn't it? We started our discussion on strings, correct? So today too, we'll continue our discussion on string. So yesterday we discussed about, functions. Okay, very few functions we discussed, right? Yesterday we discussed function like is function, right? So we already discussed about is upper, is lower, is title, okay? All that small, right? T is also small, okay? Okay, so now let's take an example. Let's see where do we use these conditions. Now, let's say I want to read a number, right? So I'm saying read a number, okay? So num1 equal to input of enter number or enter length of the rectangle, right? Okay, and then what we do is we convert this into integer, isn't it? That's what we've been doing. Okay, but let's say we want to check, okay, if the number that is entered is really a number or not, right? So okay, before we translate into integer, we have to check, right? If num1, okay, by default when we input it is string, isn't it? So num1 is string till line number 5 that we are doing right now. Now we'll say is digit, okay? If it has digit true, only then you translate into integer, isn't it? Otherwise you can give a message saying num1, sorry, okay, print, okay, I'll put f string and I will say num1 is an invalid length value, right? So, before we actually convert into integer, we can check and then we can convert. So what if, okay, you don't do all these things? What if you directly convert into integer? Now when we run it, okay, we are saying enter the length of the rectangle, but user can enter anything, isn't it? You are not controlling what user enters. So user might enter ABCD, right? ABCD. Then you get an error, isn't it? You get error. So we don't want error in our program. So we will not, okay, let me stop it. So we don't want to convert directly. First, we will make sure that user has entered only digits. Okay, so if I say ABCD now, you see, it says ABCD is an invalid length value, right? So you're not getting error, you're giving a proper message back to the user, isn't it? Now, if I run it again, okay, and let's say I put 125, well, this is valid, isn't it? So this will be converted into your number, right? Now let's say we'll take the same example of finding area and perimeter. So I'm going to say num1 and I'm going to say num2 equal to, and I'm going to say here enter breadth of the rectangle, right? And I'm going to read it as num2, correct? Now here, if it is, so if num2 is digit and num2 is also digit, isn't it? If one of them is false, the entire thing will become false and you won't be able to get into if. Here, when I use and, that means this has to be true as well as this also have to be true. So both have to be true, only then you can enter into this if, correct? The properties of Boolean. So this condition as well as this condition, both have to be true, right? Even one of them is false, entire thing is false. So I'll say, okay, num1 equal to int num1, num2 equal to int of num2, okay, and I'm going to say area equal to num1 into num2, okay, this is num2, sorry, okay, then perimeter equal to 2 into num1 plus num2, right? And you can separate area and perimeter are, okay, area, we have to put F, okay, I'll go back and I'll put F here. So your calculation is only when both of these are valid digits, contain valid digit. Else you can say one or more, we don't know, it could be both could be incorrect, okay, or invalid, or one of those could be invalid. So I'm saying one or more input values are, okay, values are invalid, okay, correct? And now when you run it, if I enter length as 1, 2, 3 and breadth as ABC, you get one or more input values are invalid. Okay. Length of rectangle is 1, 2, 3. Okay, breadth is 2, 3, 1. You get area and perimeter like this. Correct? Makes sense, isn't it? So this is an application of where you can use, is, and similarly you can use, title and lowercase as well. Okay. So let's learn some more functions today. Okay. String methods. Okay, we call them methods. Okay, methods are nothing but functions in class, right? Okay. So just like we have is lower, is upper, is title, we have functions lower, upper, title. Okay. We have functions like lower, okay, upper, title. Now these means convert it into title case. Okay. So if I say greet one equal to hello everyone, here, hello everyone. Okay, let's say this is greet one. Now when I say print title case and I say greet one dot title. So if you see here, so it converted the input into title case, right? Similarly, you can do upper, lower, okay? Uppercase, lowercase, say. Is like asking questions. Is it? Okay. Lower is convert, directly convert. Okay. Lower, upper. Okay. So same hello everyone would be converted into title case. Title case means the first character of every word is capital and rest are small. Uppercase, all the characters are uppercase. Correct? Lowercase, all the characters are in lowercase. Okay, makes sense? Great. Now let's see an example here. Okay, where can we use upper lower, or why should we use upper lower case? Okay, so let's say you are handling text data. Okay, you are handling text data and you want to compare the text value. Now when you want to compare the text value, okay, user could have entered in different format, right? Okay, so for example, write a program to input nationality and age to decide whether that person can vote or not. Okay, so first thing we'll talk about person's age. Okay, so you can use age, and how to use age. Okay, you can write this way to read a value. Okay, okay, one second. Some important calling. Just send a message. Sorry, guys. Okay. Okay. So so you have title case, uppercase, lowercase, right? Now I want to write a program, okay, to check if the person is eligible to vote or not, right? Okay. 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 So first thing, as I said, we have to read the value of input. Okay, so I'm going to say age equal to int of input. Now, as I said, you could do the way we have done here, right? But I'm taking the shortcut. Enter your age, and then I'm going to say nationality, right? Nationality equal to, this is anyway going to be string. So I'm going to say input enter your nationality. Okay, enter your age, enter your nationality. Now we know that to be eligible to vote in India, your age has to be greater than equal to 18 and nationality has to be equal to, let's say, India, right? Okay. So you'll say print you are eligible to vote in India, right? Else, sorry, you do not meet the criteria to vote in India. Okay. Now you see here, if I enter, okay, let me run. Okay, I think now you can hear me, right? So let's say I put age as 42, right? And nationality as India. Okay, so I get eligible to vote. Now, what happens when I run the program and I say 42, but I put India as small? So what happens? Though my nationality is India, it says you do not meet the criteria. Correct? Why? Because this is not an exact match, right? And if I have to check for capital small, we'll end up, we will end up checking multiple values. So in such situation, what we do is, okay, in such situation, what we do is, whatever be the value that is entered by the user, you convert that value into either lower or upper or title. In this case, since I'm using title case, I'll convert this into title. Okay. Now, if I have to check, okay, I'm saying age 42, nationality India. So see, now even then it says eligible to vote because whatever we have entered got converted into title. Then checking with, so we don't know what the user can enter. User can enter anything, right? The user can enter anything. So we need to talk, we need to convert whatever user has entered, whatever let them enter, doesn't matter. You convert into the form that you can work with. I can work with title case. So I'll convert into title. Then I will check with India. Okay. If not, I will check with something else, right? I can check with lower. So lower is the preferred way. Okay. Title can be confusing at times. So lower case is the most preferred. Okay. But you can use anything. I can convert into lower. And then I'm checking with lower value here. Right? So even if I enter capital, doesn't matter because I'm converting into lowercase. So it will get converted into lowercase. So it is going to vote in India, got converted into lowercase. Makes sense, everyone? Okay. So this is the use of lower upper. Okay. There are more functions to it. Okay. Let's see some of them. Okay, which are important. Okay. You have something called as split. Okay. So let's say I have a statement saying, hello, how are you? Hello, how are you doing today? Okay, let's say this is my statement. Now I can split it into words. Okay, how? So I'm going to say split or something like this, say words 1 equal to statement 1 dot split. You have method called split here in string. Okay, and you say split. Now when you print words, okay, you will see the text has been converted into words. How are you doing today? The result is a list. We have not done the list. We'll do the list in some, if we get time today, we'll start today itself. Otherwise, we'll do tomorrow. Okay. Output is the list which we will discuss later. Okay. So this is a list. Output is in form of list. But now you know how you can split into multiple words. Okay. And we can, and later when we see how to handle list, you can see that we can run loops and all those things. Okay. So let's say you get text. Okay. You got text from some file which is separated by comma or semicolon or hyphen or pipe. Generally, you can get this text. So let's say I have data like hello, how are you doing? Okay, now you see in this case, this text is separated by semicolon, not by space. So if I do this, let's say if I do words 2 equal to text 1 dot split, text 1 dot split, and then if I print words 2, okay, entire thing will be given as one value. Okay, so see, it is entire thing is one single string, isn't it? Quotation. So what happens is split by default will split on blank spaces. Okay, by default it will split on blank space, but we can tell how to split. So in this case, I want to split on basis of semicolon, isn't it? So I'll simply say semicolon, split semicolon. And see, you got the split here. Okay, you can use any special character, and based on that, the text will be splitted into multiple values. Okay, so the output is list. Okay, and we will see later how to handle a list. You can even join. Okay, so I want to join this. Okay, I want to join this. So how do I join? I will declare a blank string dot join, and then I will pass this entire thing here, and this I'm going to say txt2 equal to. So join, okay, is a function, is a method in string which will join the values that we are providing as a list. So when we say print txt2, okay, and when you run it, so you see it's printed as hello, how are you doing today? Okay, I want to give space in between. So you give space here in line number 7. So space dot, whatever dot you give, whatever dot join you give, that is put in between these words. So now when I run it, so you see, how are you doing today? So the text which was with semicolon, we have successfully converted into text with space. 2 steps we have to do. First, we have to split on semicolon, then join on blank space. That's it. Split and join, you get a new form of same text. That's the use of split and join. We have few more things. Okay, we have replace, we have find, which are generally used. Replace, okay, you have join. Okay, so let's say I have a text. Okay, we'll call it text 2 or text 3. This will do it, replace here, and I'm going to say 3 equal to what are you doing today? Okay, what are you doing today? Okay, now see here, by mistake I entered what? Okay, I want to enter how are you doing today. I wanted to enter how are you doing, but by mistake I used what are you doing. Correct? So this is not a right program. So we have to change it, isn't it? And how do we change it? Okay. So we have option called replace. txt3 dot, okay, replace. So replace will take first method, or sorry, not first method, sorry, first message or first input as which value you want to replace. So I want to replace, okay, I want to replace what, right? So I'm going to say replace what, and then replace with what? How, right? And now if I print text 3, what do you get? Okay, so we are replacing text 3 here, but did we tell it what to do? No, we haven't told what to do. So we have to say here, okay, txt3 equal to, and now when you run text 3, you see what happened. What is replaced with how, isn't it? Okay, so this is how you can replace. Okay, okay, everyone, awesome. Now one more thing is, join we have done. There's find here. I want to find if a value exists in a given text or not. So I have a text here. Say text 4 equal to how are you? How are you doing today? What's your name? Okay. I want to see if this one has doing or not. So I'm going to say print, okay, text 4 dot find, and I'm going to say doing. Now, when you say doing here, what happens? It says 12. That means doing is present. Okay. Now, if I say doing 1, doing 1 is not present, right? What happens? It gives you -1. So if you get -1, that means the value is not present. Okay. So same program, let's say, write a program to find if the text has doing. Okay. So what will you do? You will say result equal to text 4 dot find doing. Okay. And if result equal to -1, sorry, the text does not contain doing in it. Okay, if not, okay, if not, then you will say print that text has doing from position. Text has doing from position. Okay, position. Okay, or not from, we'll say at position. At position, you put the result. Okay, so what it means is that it is at position 12. Okay, so the D, okay, doing, the D of doing is at position 12. So this H is at position 0. This is what we discussed yesterday. Okay, the position of H is 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You see, this is at position 12. This is what we get. If it is not there, you will get -1. If it is there, you will get the value at which it is there. Okay. So these are some of the important. There are a few more. Okay, there are a lot more. Okay, I'm requesting you to please practice, but these are the most common, examples or most common usage of functions in string. Okay, now let's say I want to, let's do some practice example. Okay, I want to reverse the text. Okay, I want to reverse the text. Okay, how do I reverse the text? How do we reverse the text? Any idea? Okay, so let's check this. So we have a text here and we call it as hello everyone. Sorry, hello everyone. Okay, now To reverse it, okay, 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 you don't have a function to do that, right? So what we'll do is we will call reverse txt reverse txt equal to blank. Okay, now I'm going to read from, I'm going to read the first character and store it as -1 position. Okay, so I'm going to say for I in text. Okay, for I in text. So I is what? I is the first character. I will give us first character, second character, third character, fourth character, so on. But when we are saving it, okay, we have to save it at the back, right? So I'm going to say reverse text plus equal to, okay. Now if I do plus equal to, what happens? I, okay, not capital I, small I. Okay, let's see what happens. Print reverse text. Does it do the work? It's giving same value, isn't it? So reverse text equal to reverse text plus 1. So what is happening? Reverse text is first blank, then we are adding h, fine. Next you have h, then you are adding second value to the right side, right? We have to add I to the left side. Okay, now you see what happens. Yep, did you get it? So we are taking the text and adding I to the left, next value to the left. See, when you read h, okay, it doesn't matter where you add. H is the first character. The second character should be added to the left side, not right side. Should be added to the left side, isn't it? So this is what we have done, and the values are added to the left, and you get it reversed. So this is an example where you can use to reverse a text. Okay. 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 So these are some of the work. What I'm going to do is, in the link that we have provided, I'm going to add some practice examples which you can practice after the class. Okay, you can practice. I'll give some examples which you can practice. Okay. Okay. So now we'll move to our next topic. So this is about string. Okay, we have seen how to pick a special character from string, how to pick range of values. We have seen left to right indexing, which starts from 0 and goes on to length -1. Then we have seen right to left indexing, which starts from -1, goes to the minus length. Okay. Then we started talking about functions. We now know how to convert into all upper, all lower, or all title case. We also looked at functions if, like how to check if it's alphanumeric or alphabet or digit or numeric or upper, lower, right? Is alpha, is digit, is lower, is title. So there's a series of functions that are there to check, and it will return, these functions will return either true or false. Then we spoke about, okay, then we spoke about values, how to split a string, how to join a string, how to find something in a text, how to replace the value. Okay. 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 So let me do one more example here in replace and find. Okay. So see here, when we're doing replace, okay. So let's say I want to replace what with how. Okay. And I give WH. So what happens when you run it? Okay. You will not get, right, what is not replaced. Why it is not replaced? Because it did not find. Okay, our actual what is W capital, and what we found is W small. Then how do we replace? Okay, you have to say text3 dot lower dot replace. Okay, so we are converting everything into lowercase, and then we are replacing with how. Now when you run it, okay, we should see it replaced. See, how are you doing today, right? So another example of how to use lower and upper. Okay, you will have to use it whenever you are comparing text. Okay, text challenge trick is that user can input in any format, right? Uppercase, lowercase, or mix of upper lowercase. You cannot blame the user. You have to handle your program to handle such input. Okay, great. So with that, we wrap up string, and let's move to list. Okay, list is another important topic. Okay, just like string and everything that we discussed in the string. Okay, there is a lot of matching with list also. Okay, so okay, first thing is, let's learn how to create a list. Okay, so I'm going to talk about working with list data type. Okay, working with list data type. So how do you declare a list? So we declare a list. So I'm going to say list 1 equal to square bracket. Okay, so list is a special type of data type where or which can store more than one values. List can store more than one value. Okay, so when you say when we, so far what all we have done, right? We have done integer, float, complex, boolean, and string. All these variables are called as basic data types because they can store only one value. But your list can store more than one values. How they can store? So we declare list using square bracket, and inside the square bracket we give the values that we want it to store. Inside this, we will give the values that we want it to store. Okay. So for example, I want list 1 to store 5. Okay. I want it to store true. TRUE. Boolean. Okay. You can store multiple values, and all of them can be of different data types. Mixed data type. Mixed basic data type. Okay. I want to store hello. You can store hello also. You can even store a list inside a list. I'm creating one more list. Yes, you can store list inside a list. Okay, so in this list, I'm giving, let's say 246. So how many values are there in this list? This list has, okay, 5, 1, true is second, hello is 3, and this list is 4. So the list 1 has 4 values. Okay, so I can say size of the list is comma len. See, same function which we use for string, lot of similarities. And there are a lot of dissimilarities also. We'll talk about them. Okay. So len of list 1 will tell us, okay, 4. So see, when you talk from list perspective, when you talk as from list perspective, each of these members lose its basic property and combine as one variable. So even though hello itself has 5 words, but when you put it in a list, okay, this is 1. Okay, and I always say this, okay, when you are part of a team, when you work for any team, okay, when you play a game, you play football, cricket, you work in a company office, you should forget who you are and behave like a team. We are all a single team. Individually, yes, individually I'm a string, I'm integer, I'm boolean. But when you are put it as a list, you are a team, you are a single list, part of a single list. Doesn't matter you whether you have 100 characters or 1 character, you behave as one. You are one member of the team. That's what we all should be. Okay, individually, if you see, yes, we are string. Okay, individually we are all different, but as part of a team, we are one. And this is what list also demonstrate. When I say size of the list, even though this list has 3 values, is considered as one member. Even though this hello has 5 values, considered as one member. Equivalent to this true, equivalent to this 5. So when I say len of list 1, you will get 4 only, not individual values like this. Okay, great. So you can even add to list just like we added. So most of the properties that we did are similar to string. I tell you most of the properties, not all. Okay, but there is a big difference which probably we'll talk tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow we'll talk about the main difference between string and a list. Let's focus today on similarities. Okay, so if I have to add, this is list 1. Let's say create list 2. And list 2, I add a float value 5.5, 5.5, and let's say false. And now when you print list 1 plus list 2, you get first the list 1 values. Okay, so you get a list. Okay, so list 1 plus list 2 will also be a list, and it will have first the list 1 values 5, true, hello, 246, and then 5.5 and false. Okay, you can even multiply just like we multiplied string. So I'm going to say list 2 into 4. So what happens? It resultant is a list and the values are multiplied by 4. So 5.5 false. So 5.5 false, 5.5 false, 5.5 false. Okay, it is getting multiplied by 4. Okay, great. So this is plus and multiplication. You can even check if a value is there in the list or not, right? Using in, and that's what we're going to use in for loop also. So let's say I want to find if hello is in list 1 or not. Hello in list 1, okay, will return true because hello is in list 1. And if I make it h small, then of course this becomes false, isn't it? Because this is not in list. Okay. So using same concept, we can write our for loop for I in list 1. And if I print I, first of all, how many times this loop will run? How many times this loop will run? This loop is going to run, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 times. This loop is going to run 4 times, right? And the values will be 5, true, hello, and 246. Let's run it and see. So, okay. So before this, let me print here. Values in the list using for loop. Okay, so values of the list using for loop 5 true hello. So this is going to run 4 times. Okay, this loop will run 4 times, and the values of I will be the values from the list. Okay, now indexing. I told you yesterday that indexing or slicing, whatever you call it, is same as list, sorry, string. So it list also has backward and forward indexing. Okay, I'm not going to repeat it again. We have spent enough time yesterday to talk about indexing, or what you call as, you know, indexing or slicing, isn't it? Okay, so let's revise some concept. Okay, just for sake of revision, let's revise some concept. So if I have to print the first member, how will I print the first member? I'm going to say list 1 of 0, correct? So list 1 of 0 is 5, isn't it? So you get 5 here. Okay, let me put this as print only. Okay, let me put this as print. So when you run it, you'll get indexing and slicing. So first member is list of 0. I want last member -1, correct? I want last 2 member. So you get last 2, 4, 6. I want last 2 member. So I will say -2 colon space. Right. You guys are great. Okay. So give us hello and 246. Okay, so this same way, okay, exactly same way that we do indexing in string. Okay. Now I told you, right? When you form as a string, they form as a single team. But individually they are different. Individually we all are different, isn't it? So when I say first member, okay, first member list equal to list of 0, right? Last member is list of -1. I want to know the type of first member. Okay, so what is the data type of first member? What will I get? Okay, first member is 5, it is integer, right? Last member is a list. Okay, so the last member data type will be a list. Good. So individually, these values do not lose their identity. So if you're talking about first member, oops, what is the error here? List 1, sorry, yeah. It's list 1, right? Not just list, sorry. List 1. Okay, so first member list 1 of 0, okay, is integer. Great. Okay, and here it is list, last member is list. Okay, so individually they don't lose its value or meaning or position. Okay, okay, so these are the basic thing. Now we have properties for list, right? So let's discuss few properties of list. Okay, or let's take an example. Okay, let's take an example before we end today's session. Let's take an example. Example is write a program to input marks of 5 subjects and print sum and average. Okay. Now, earlier, okay, we did same example 3 times, 2 times, I think. This is a third example. First time what we did was we took subject 1 equal to int of input, right? Int of input, oh, sorry. Enter marks in subject 1. Okay. So first type that we have. Okay. Then we said enter marks subject 1, subject 2, subject 3, subject 4, subject 5. Right? Okay. Now the problem here is, and I can do total here, right? Total equal to sub 1 plus sub 2, sub 3, sub 4 plus sub 5. Okay. Okay, this is how we did the total. But what is the problem here? We have to write 5 different input. Correct? So if I run it, okay, enter the marks in subject 1, 5. Ouch. This is not what I meant. Okay, 5, 5, 5, 5. You get 25 total. I did not print total, but you get 25, isn't it? The problem here is that we have to write 5 different inputs. Same thing, we're repeating again and again and again and again. So what we did to avoid repeating same thing, we used loops. Remember? So type 2, okay, was to use loop. So we said total equal to 0 for I in range 5. Okay, and we said here m equal to int of input, enter the marks in subject, okay, 1, enter the marks in subject 1, which is I plus 1, okay, and this is integers, have to convert into string, right? Oops. Why did I use this? I plus 1. Okay, so enter the marks in subject I plus 1, and after that we can put, okay, comma here, right? Int of input, right? And this closing for int, right? And we did total plus equal to n, right? And you can say print total after step 2. This is great, right? We didn't have to repeat 5 times. Okay, if you have to do 10 times, you can just change the range value, right? Enter the marks in subject 1, say 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. Then enter marks in subject 1, you can say 5. This is the second method that we are running, isn't it? Okay, you get 25, it should be, right? So this is great. Method 2 avoided us from writing same thing again and again, right? We use loops. Okay, Now the problem here is, problem here is, what is the problem here? We are losing, we lost the individual marks. Yes, we are able to calculate the sum, but we said marks equal to, right? So this M is getting overwritten. M is getting overwritten, right? So we are not able to capture the marks correctly. We are not able to capture marks correctly. It is getting overwritten. So how do we get rid of that problem? How do we avoid that problem? That's where we use list. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to copy the same program. Okay, I'm going to copy the same program, and I'll create a next block of code. Okay, so this is all fine. We know how it works, but before marks is getting written with new value, okay, I'm going to create a list. I'm going to say marks equal to empty. So marks is a list which we have created in step number 2, and it has no values. It has no values. Now what I want to do is, before it is overwritten, okay, I can capture it. How do I capture it? We have a function called as append. List has, this is the first method we're talking about for list. This is the first method we're talking about for list. List has a method called as append. Okay, and we will say append M. So what happens? Marks is there, it will add M to it. M, then M, then M, then N, and so on. You can give range 10 also, doesn't matter here. So now when you run it, okay, let me stop. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is, okay, let's print this. Okay, so I'm going to say marks obtained in each subject is marks. Marks are variable which is of type list. So marks obtained in each subject is marks, and the total marks is perfect. Why is it showing error here? Did we make anything change here? Enter the marks in subject. No, should be okay, right? Let's run it and see. Okay, this was error because we stopped there in the previous step. Okay, enter the marks in subject 1, 65. Enter the marks in subject 2, 78. Enter the marks in subject 3, 90. Marks in subject 4, okay, 54. Marks in subject 5, 69. Subject 6, 90. 87. Okay, 69. 75. 76. So now you see that marks obtained in each subject is 65, 78, so on, and the total marks is 753. Percentage 75.3. Grade B or whatever, right? So now this is the complete way, right way, where we are using loop to read 10 marks, right? Generally, when you talk about semester engineering, you have about 8 to 9 subjects in semester, right? So you can capture all the 10 values using one input, but you need to store the values also somewhere, right? I need to, tomorrow we'll see examples of working on these values. You want to see the highest. Okay, so let's say these are subject 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I want to find highest marks in each subject. I want to find highest marks in each subject. Let's say after doing this work, after running this program, okay, you have got 10 student marks. student 1 equal to this. Student 2 equal to, let's say we'll make some changes, 94. Okay. Then you have student 3, okay, which is, let's say, 50. Okay. You have student 4, let's say here you have 91, 92. I want to find the highest marks in each subject. Okay. How do I do that? So I'm going to create one more list. Highest marks. Highest marks is a empty, okay, bracket. Right. Now I am going to read marks from student 1, student 2, student 3, and student 4. So I'm going to compare. We have already done the program, right, where you are comparing 3 values and finding the highest value from 3. Here we have to find highest value among 4. Okay. So how do we do that? Let's see this. I'm going to say if ST1 of 0, right? Index of this is 0. So I'm checking marks for 0th subject, right? Or first subject. Okay. This is marks of first subject. So STR1 of 0. If STR1 of 0 is greater than student 2 of 0. What does that mean? It means student 1 has a higher marks. Okay. And if student 1, okay, so instead of writing like this, let's say we can say if student 1 is greater than student 2, sorry, and student 1 marks is greater than student 3's marks, and student 1 marks is greater than student 4 marks. Okay, so student 1 is greater than student 2, and student 1 is greater than student 3, and student 1 is greater than, that means the highest value is highest marks dot append is a student 1 of 0. This is what it means, isn't it? Now you can have else. Okay, else what? If student 2 has, I'm going to say if, okay. So if student 2, now I'm comparing student 2 with 3, 4, and 1. Okay, so student 2 greater than 1, student 2 greater than 3, and student 2 greater than 4. Here I'm comparing student 3. If student 3 greater than student 2, student 3 greater than student, this is 3, sorry. This can be confusing. Tomorrow we'll see how to run a loop and perform this. Okay, we can do this using another loop. Okay, we have to use inner and 2 loops, outer and inner loop, and we can perform same thing. Tomorrow we'll do that. Tomorrow we'll modify the same program. So 3 is greater than 2, 3 is greater than 1, and 3 is greater than 4. Now here student 4 is greater than 2, student 4 is greater than 3, and student 4 is greater than 1. Then highest marks is this. So this is for one subject. We have to do it for 10 subjects. So for I in range, okay, 10. And I'm going to move everything inside this, isn't it? And instead of 0, we have to say I. We're checking for each, right? So first we'll check for 0, then we'll check for 1, okay, then we'll check for 2, so on up to 9, right? Range 10 will go up to 9. Okay, all has to be I. So this is how you build. Okay, first you do it for one, and then we will make it generic for the entire value. Okay, I. Oh, I made a mistake here, right? I have not given I here, right? I have to give I to S3 also. Somehow it got deleted. Okay, ST4. Or it's giving me some trouble. Okay, now let's run this. Okay, let's print it. Okay, let's print it. Print highest marks in each subject is, right? And we say highest marks. And when we run it, okay, so you got 54 and 90. Why? Why did we get 54 and 90? See, when you say greater than, it is performing only when it is greater than, not when it is equal to. Correct? When it is equal to also, you want it to perform. So you will say equal to everywhere. Okay? Because if it is equal to, it is not getting inside the loop. And we don't have else here. Okay? Or if you do not want to do equal to, okay, there's one more option. We'll put it as one complete block, elif, and here instead of if, okay, we will put else. Now you see. Right? So if you take the first example, here 65 is highest, 78 is highest, 90 is highest, 54. Okay, it's showing as 94. It should be. It's showing 54. Okay, this is incorrect. 69 correct. Here 90 is correct. No, 92 is highest. Here 87, 69, 75, 75. All correct except these two. Okay. The problem here is what? Okay, what is the problem here? When this 94 is highest, that means ST2. Is ST2 of I greater than ST2, ST1? Yes. And okay, what does and means? And means all conditions have to be true. Is it possible to have all the conditions true? No. Okay, and means what? So ST2 is greater than ST1. This is true, but this is false, isn't it? Okay, I wanted to see if who can get it right. Okay, we have to use or because not all conditions can be true. So here if you see, is ST2 greater than ST1? Yes. Is, okay, ST2 greater than ST3? Yes. And ST2 greater than ST4? Yes. Okay. Okay. So ST2 is greater than ST1, is greater than ST. And what I'm saying ST1 of. Even though I am reading ST2, but I'm assigning ST2, ST1 only, isn't it? So I have to assign ST2. Yes. So don't fall for the trick. It should be and only, not or. We want ST to be greater than ST1 and 3 and 4. We want ST4 to be greater than ST1, 2 and 3. Correct? So and is fine. Only thing is that we appended wrong. Okay, so if it is ST1 here, it should be ST1. If it is ST2 here, it should be ST2. If it is ST3 here, it should be ST3. And if it is ST4 here, it should be ST4. Yes or no? Now you should have got the correct answer. You see? So concentration is important. Programs can be confusing. We have got 16 checks, not 16, sorry. 4 into 4. Yeah, 16 checks. Okay. If you remove else, we get only 4 into 3, 12 checks. So you have to go with it. Okay. And is correct because we want values to be greater than each. Second thing is, now here ST1 is greater. So we have to append ST1 value to highest marks. ST2. Now you see, it will be correct now. Okay. So yes, this is how we use append. Okay. And tomorrow, same thing we'll do it in a much simpler way. We'll use double for loop and it will be simpler than this. Will have less number of conditions than this. Okay. Any questions before we wrap up? Okay, great. So do we have time for one more thing? Okay, we'll just talk about it, but we'll not discuss now. It's called insert. We have seen append and this is insert. Insert also adds value to the list, but insert takes a position. So if I say ST1, okay, and if ST1, okay, dot insert, okay, insert, it takes the position. I want to insert 0 at first position. So I'll say 0 and I'll say 100. And now when you print ST1, let's see what happens. Yes. So you got 100 at position 1. So you can add append and you can add append or insert. Append will simply append at the back. Okay. So append will add at the back. Okay. So first member you add will be at first position. Second member will be at the second position. Third member will be at the third position. So on. Insert takes the position number also. You can add at any position. That's the insert. Okay. So we'll meet tomorrow. Thank you so much, everyone. List is very important topic. String, list, and dictionary. Okay. Dictionary also will do. Very important topic. Will so this week is important. All the important data structure are going to do. So that next week we'll do some additional programs. Okay. Any questions before we end? Thank you so much for your time. Take care, everyone. Bye. Thank you, everyone. Bye.